So I was thinking about when I was younger, I was about 9. And, back then I struggled with if a boy was like super cute, I never would think that I had any type of chance at all. Like, no, there's no looking my way. Like, that's how deep my insecurities were. So I can remember I sitting on the porch and my dad and my sister were both peeking through the little window, it was like a little square. And that night, I wound up having my first kiss.
At 9 years old?
At 9 years old. Was nothing major. It wasn't like a tongue kiss or anything like that. It was just a peck. But I can remember peeking back, and after we kissed, my dad and my sister was just cheesing at the door. I'm like, wow. So now I'm like on this cloud, if you will, because I can't even believe that this is my reality, right? I'm just like, oh my goodness, him of all people, everybody liked him. So it was just like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So the next day comes. I'm still on this little high. And my friends come to me and they basically was like, he said he don't want to go with you no more. So of course now I'm distraught. I run back in the house, I'm crying. I'm just like, I can't believe this.
You was heartbroken?
I was very hurt.
Okay.
And I remember, crying to my dad and, him just consoling me and telling me it's okay. And, it's his loss and all of this stuff, saying all the things that comfort and console.
At the age of 9.
At the age of 9. Yeah. I later find out that it was all a prank. That stuck with me for a long time.
When we say a long time, what is the time frame that we're talking here?
Well, it shaped my outlook on a lot of things when it came to relationships going forward. It definitely dug deeper into the insecurities that I already had.
Right.
When it came to my looks.
Can I interject before you continue? Because I wanted to touch on some things, as you speak about this. So I want to bring in the spiritual aspect of everything that you expressed, because it's something that needs to be highlighted. Let's start with what spirit that you were dealing with after that happened. What spirit was that?
Spirit of rejection.
Spirit of rejection. Okay. So I wanted you to say that so that I can kind of like piggyback off of that. You were tormented by a spirit of rejection for quite some time, because as you explained, you said it shaped the way you approached your quote unquote crushes and how you identify with yourself after that. So this is a spirit. Everything that happens to us in the third dimension, there is another dimension that the natural eye can't see. And that dimension, there are deities and entities and spirits and all type of celestial beings that influence this dimension. What they need a vessel in order for them to function.
Right.
So the end result was a spirit of rejection that opens you up to more spirits. But here goes the things that I want to highlight. So now, number one, the spirits use these little children. The enemy has an assignment, and the assignment is to plant so many seeds at a tender age that as you mature, these seeds, they grow into something that the enemy can continuously have access. Right. So the enemy uses these little children to prank you, all right, in regards to a young man who you looked at as in all of the other children in the neighborhood looked at as the most handsome boy that comes around. So at the tender age, there's already lust involved. Right. There's a spirit of lust involved. All right. I want you to think as a child, an innocent child. These entities, these deities, they have a way of whispering thoughts, whispering things. They can't read our mind, but they can try to influence our thoughts, and it opens up things. As a child, our feelings are spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Life is spiritual. So it shapes a narrative that you may not know right then and there. But as you get older, you understand? These are the things that we're not talking about in the body of Christ, and we're not talking about in general, that the spiritual realm has a direct connect to the third dimension. And everything that we think, a lot of those thoughts are not our thoughts. So if I look for example, if I look in the mirror and I see something that I don't like, but remember, we are created in God's image. So if I see something I don't like, and there's already a familiar spirit that is observing me, and they're looking at the light that's inside of me, and they can tell, they start to whisper certain things, and that stuff starts to shape me as an innocent child going into a young adult to an adult, and I don't even understand what's going on, because it's not until years later, many years later, that we recognize, like, oh, we start unraveling. The children being used by these spirits, right, to plant a seed in you that eventually would manifest into something that is not of God. Right. The individual who was assigned to cover you, which is your dad, nothing is innocent when it comes to our children. And if you have a daughter or if you have a son, and they are liking other children and things of that nature, you have to like nip that in the bud immediately, because as parents, we are assigned to cover. Remember, children are dealing with spirits. These spirits are after the children first. So when we expose them, because we're looking at it like in the third dimension, oh, that's innocent, oh, that's so sweet, that's so kind, you know, like it's a crush. But in the spiritual realm, they working on something. You understand what I'm trying to say? They are trying to taint your innocence. Do you want to be my girlfriend? Yes or no? Put it in a box. This is all opening up things that it starts then. We are assigned to monitor our children. But you have familiar spirits that are monitoring, and they start to, you know, like, they start to coerce things. They start to orchestrate things in the spiritual realm. Most parents, they're like, oh, you ain't doing that. You understand? My daughter ain't having no little boyfriend, or being excited about, you know, little boy that's like, and they steering the boy away. There were parents that would not let their children watch TV.
No, I know that.
They would not let their children listen to the radio. No, they would not let their children have company. They wouldn't let their children go to birthday parties. If those spirits can get past the parent is literally just giving them more access. But once again, remember, this is about exploitation. That's what the demons are trying to do. They're trying to exploit you. So that they can, you know, this thing can fully blossom once you get older. Now, you said that you dealt with this spirit of rejection for a long time. How long?
Through college.
How old were you when you were in college?
18, 19.
18, 19. So we're talking about through college, right? So is it fair to say that in your 20s you also dealt with it?
Some levels, yeah. Yeah, okay. On some levels.
Is it possible that in your 30s you still dealt with it?
It just really hit me that that's what I was dealing with, to be very honest with you, because I never thought about it. You know, I never put thought to it. That whole situation and the ricochet that it had on my life.